The topic of this video is constructing a model using variation. Let's look at a problem. Write a general formula to describe the variation. Z varies directly with the sum of the squares of x and y. Z equals 4 when x equals 4 and y equals 6. Okay, let's go through the 4 steps. Step 1. Write the quantity or expression that varies, followed by equals. Well, in the problem it says z varies, so we start with z equals. Step 2. Write the constant of proportionality k in the numerator of a fraction. Step 3. Look for the word directly, inversely, or jointly. In this case, we have the word directly. When the word directly is used, the quantity goes in the numerator multiplying with k. So we need to write the sum of the squares of x and y, and we need to put it right up here multiplying with k. But how do we write that as algebraic symbols? How do we write the sum of the squares of x and y? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll make this a multiple choice question for you. Is it x plus y all in parentheses squared? Or is it x squared plus y squared? Or is it either one because they mean the same thing? Here's what I want you to do. Decide which one of these you believe is the correct way of writing the sum of the squares of x and y. Pause this video now, make your decision, and once you've made your decision, then resume the video. All right, welcome back. So, the sum of the squares of x and y. Let's see if we can figure out what that means. So first of all, when you see the sum of something, that means we're expecting two things. And because it's a sum, we're going to add them together. So we know adding is part of this problem. So what are the two things that we're adding? It says the squares of x and y. So that would be an x squared and a y squared added together. So the correct answer is x squared plus y squared. Now, if you suspected that these were the same thing, and therefore that you could write either one, I would encourage you to think carefully about what an exponent means. An exponent tells me how many times to multiply a base by itself. So x plus y in parentheses squared would be the same thing as an x plus y times another x plus y. And I would use FOIL to multiply. I would get x squared plus xy plus xy plus y squared. And combining my like terms, I would get x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, which is clearly not the same as this. So these are different, and the one we want is this one. All right. Next, step 4. If necessary, replace an empty denominator with 1. Well, we do have an empty denominator, so we'll put a 1 here. All right, now we're going to simplify. Anything divided by 1 is itself, so we get z equals k, parentheses, x squared plus y squared, close parentheses. Notice that I don't need the multiplication dot anymore, because parentheses are another way of indicating multiplication. Now, in the previous videos, this was the end of the problem. But in this video, we go further because we are provided extra information. We are told that z equals 4 when x equals 4 and y equals 6. So if we replace x, y, and z with those numbers in this problem, the only letter left will be k, and we'll be able to solve for k. So let's do that. All right, let's replace all of those letters with numbers. So x is equal to 4, y is equal to 6, and z is equal to 4. All right, here we go. 4 squared is 16, 6 squared is 36, 36 plus 16 is 52, and then when you multiply it times k, you get 52k. Now solve for k. The most frequent error I see students make is that they divide both sides by 4 because they're used to dividing by the number on the left side. But that would not be correct in this case. Our variable is on the right, and to get the variable alone, we need to divide by its coefficient, which is 52. So we divide by 52 on both sides. This gives me k equals 4/52. Reduce the fraction. The greatest common factor of 4 and 52 is 4. So if we divide the top by 4, and we also divide the bottom by 4, we get the reduced fraction 1/13. We're now ready to construct our final answer. This was the equation we had at the end of step 4. But given the fact that the problem gave us enough information to determine the value of k, we now put the value of k inside this equation to write our final answer. Z equals 1/13 times the x squared plus y squared in parentheses. Now another way that you could write this would be to combine all of this together into a single fraction. We can write the x squared plus y squared as x squared plus y squared over 1. You can turn anything into a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Then multiply the two fractions. 1 times x squared plus y squared would be x squared plus y squared, because anything times 1 is itself. And 13 times 1 is 13. So we get this answer and this answer. Sometimes computer programs will prefer one over the other. So if you put in 1 and it says that your answer is equivalent to the correct answer but not in the correct form, try putting in the other.